Some TV, the pulse of the nation.
Hey Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 247. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Sun TV, your premier 247 destination for local and international entertainment, news, and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Some TV.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Some TV.
Super Cab, safe, convenient and affordable 247 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State. Good evening, viewers. You're watching news at 9 p.m. on Some TV. Your undisputed sources for truth, clarity, and the stories that shape our world. This is the pulse of the nation. Follow us on Facebook at Some TV and join our live stream on YouTube at Some TV Live. Stay informed, stay empowered. Now let's dive into tonight's top headlines. International Press Institute Nigeria condemns closure of Badegi 90.1 FM and demands its reopening. Vice President Kashim Shettima, African Development Bank President Akiwumi Adesina, and Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde launch Oyo Agribusiness Hope. People's Democratic Party and All Progressive Congress political tension deepens in Plateau ahead of 2027. On international news, Nigerian-born United States-based astronaut Owolabi Salis to be honored with monuments and all the like. Business news. Nigerian Ports Authority welcomes first Nigerian-owned container vessel at Oni Port. Entertainment news. Nigerian singer Iyanya donates 500,000 naira to nurse harassed during strike. And on sports, burial of former Super Eagle goalkeeper Peter Rufai set for August 22nd. I'm Bridget James, and now the news in full. The International Press Institute Nigeria has condemned the closure of Badegi 90.1 FM, a Mina boasts independent radio station and demanded its immediate reopening. The station was reportedly shut down by Niger State Governor Mohammed Umaru Bago after broadcasting content critical of the government. IPI Nigeria described the move as a serious violation of press freedom, highlighting past incidents of repressions under the governor's administration, including the detention of journalists and assaults by state officials. The group warned that failure to lift the suspension within 48 hours will result in the governor's inclusion in its book of infamy, a list documenting press freedom violators in Nigeria. Vice President Kashim Shettima, AFDB President Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, and Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde on Saturday flagged off the Oyo State Agribusiness Industrial Hub in Ijaya under the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone Initiative. Represented by Agriculture Minister Abubakar Kyari, Shettima praised Makinde's agricultural focus, noting the hub would unlock economic potentials, create jobs, and strengthen federal-state partnership. Adesina commended Makinde's leadership, highlighting agribusiness as key to economic transformation and job creation. Makinde says the project aligned with the state's 2023-2027 development roadmap and built on successful from previous hope in Fasola and Erua. He pledged additional hope in Ipapo, Ilora, and Iresa Adu before 2027, urging locals to support the initiative and guard against land speculation. As Plateau State approaches the 2027 general election, the political rivalry between the PDP and APC is intensifying, with the PDP holding the governorship under Caleb Mufwang and the APC dominating both federal and state legislature. The state is witnessing a complex power dynamic. Governor Mufwang is credited with infrastructure and administrative reforms, but faces internal party unrest and high-profile defection, which may weaken the PDP's grip. Meanwhile, the APC is reinforced by the emergence of its former governorship candidate, Dr. Netawe Yewata, as national chairman. It repositioning to reclaim power, attracting defectors and reorganizing its campaign machinery. Both parties face challenges, PDP with internal dissent and APC with potential internal conflict over ticket allocation. Despite efforts by smaller parties like the ADC and the Labour Party, the 2027 contest is expected to be a two-party battle shaped by grassroots mobilization and voters' sentiments, with performance and credibility likely to triumph party loyalty. Police in Ondo State have arrested 10 illegal immigrants from the Republic of Benin and Dr. Congo, including one accused of luring a Congolese national into Nigerian under false pretense. The suspect, found at the hideout in Akure North local government area, lacked valid travel documents. Authorities say the victim is safe and the case has been transferred to immigration and anti-trafficking agencies. In a separate case, police arrested 87-year-old Chief Kambona in Idanre for allegedly supplying firearms to a robbery gang. The arrest followed the capture of a gang member in Ibadan, leading to further arrest and the recovery of weapons. All suspects are in custody pending prosecution. Report has it that the Nigerian Army's 6th Brigade, Sector 3 of Operation Wild Stroke, has rescued Engineer Joshua Saleh, a Taraba State University lecturer abducted on 31st July 2025 along the Chinkai-Kente-Ukari road in Ukari local government area of Taraba State. Tricycle riders blocked the Michelin roundabout in Jalingo on Sunday, August 3, 2025, after a police vehicle allegedly struck and damaged a KK and failed to stop. The protest, led by the Tricycle Riders Union, caused major traffic disruptions and drew local residents to the scene, some of whom accused police of routinely harassing authorities. They have not yet released an official statement, and efforts to escalate the situations are ongoing. The National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives has suspended its 7-day nationwide warning strike following a virtual emergency meeting of its National Executive Council on Saturday. During the meeting, the Council reviewed the outcome of recent discussions and engagements with the federal government and decided to call off the industrial action. The association expressed cautious optimism about the government's response to their demands, but emphasized the need for continued vigilance and follow-up to ensure full implementations of the agreements reached. The warning strike, which began earlier in the week, had disrupted health services across various government hospitals, drawing attention to long-standing issues concerning welfare, poor working conditions, and lack of adequate resources in the healthcare sector. The leadership of the association urged members to return to their duty post while affirming that they remain open to constructive dialogue. They also warned that any breach of the new commitment may lead to further action. Governor Chukwuma Soludo of the Anambra State has stirred debate after stating that any politician who pledges to serve only one term in office should undergo a physiatric evaluation. Soludo met the remark during a political rally held on Saturday in Anambra South, organized to drum up support for his bid for a second term. He questioned the rationales behind such promises, arguing that the Nigerian Constitution clearly permits public office holders to serve 2 terms if elected. The governor maintained that leaders should not limit their service arbitrarily, but rather focus on delivering values to the electorate over the constitutionally allowed period. Soludo's statement appeared to target political opponents who may be campaigning with one-term promises to gain quick popularity. His comments have sparked reactions on social media and within political circles, with critics calling them dismissive, while supporters view them as a realistic take on governance and constitutional expectation in Nigeria's democratic landscape. The Katsina Emirate Council has appointed 6 new district heads, including former Minister of Aviation, Senator Hadi Sirika, and Umar Radha, son of the current Katsina State Governor, Diko Radha. The appointments were announced in a statement issued on Saturday by Alhaji Bello Ifo, Secretary to the Emirate Council. The move is part of efforts to strengthen traditional leadership structures across the state, while the council did not provide specific roles or areas of jurisdiction for the newly appointed leaders. The selection includes a mix of political figures and members of prominent local families. The appointments have generated public interest, particularly due to the inclusions of Sirika and the governor's son. The Emirate said the appointments are based on merit, services, and a commitment to preserving the cultural heritage of the state. The new district heads are expected to play a role in community development, peace building, and supporting government policies at the grassroots. Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajàbíàmílà, has urged northern political leaders to rally behind President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the interest of national unity and progress. Speaking during the 2025 dialogue section of the Northern Caucus of the National Forum of Former Legislatures in Abuja, Gbajàbíàmílà emphasized the need for cohesive leadership and unwavering support for the current administration. He highlighted Tinubu's track record, vision, and commitment to inclusivity as reasons why northern leaders should consolidate their backing for him. The Chief of Staff noted that sustaining unity across regional and political lines is crucial to national development, especially amid ongoing economic and security challenges. Gbajàbíàmílà also called for deeper collaboration among stakeholders to ensure the success of policy initiatives already on the way. His remarks are seen as a strategic appeal to fortify political alliances and deflect emerging crack within the ruling parties and Northern Bloc ahead of the 2027 general election. Former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has called for unified action to remove the ruling All Progressive Congress in the 2027 general election. El-Rufai made the call on Saturday during a visit to Sokoto State as part of his grassroots mobilization campaign aimed at building support for a broad-based opposition coalition. According to him, the continuation of APC leadership poses serious risks to Nigerian future, citing policy failures, economic hardship, and insecurity as key concern. He urged opposition parties and civil society groups to close ranks and forge a common front capable of challenging the incumbent party. El-Rufai, a former APC stalwart, has increasingly distanced himself from the current leadership, raising speculations about his future political alignment. His Sokoto visit included meeting with local stakeholders and traditional rulers. He insisted that reclaiming Nigeria's democratic direction will require bold political decision and grassroots engagement ahead of the 2027 election. Military authorities at Jaji Military Cantonment in Kaduna State have dismissed recent reports alleging the demolitions of civilians' properties within the cantonment jurisdiction. In a statement issued over the weekend, officials clarified that no such actions had taken place. They described the report as false, misleading, and intended to stir public discontent. The military further announced a successful crackdown on drug cartels operating in nearby communities. According to the statement, several suspected drug dealers were apprehended during joint operation and subsequently handed over to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency for prosecution. The military reaffirmed its commitment to maintaining law and order in the areas under its control, urging the public to rely on verified information. Authorities warn against the spread of misinformation and assured residents of their safety. The Jaji Cantonment is a critical military training facility, and its surrounding civilian communities have long been closely monitored for security reasons. The National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control has seized counterfeit and unregistered products worth over 1.5 billion naira in Lagos. The enforcement operation, which took place on Saturday, targeted the cosmetics sections of the popular trade fair market. A statement from the agencies revealed that NAFDAC's investigations and enforcement directorate led the operation,
which also intercepted a truckload of banned and expired items. The confiscated goods included cosmetic, pharmaceutical, and other regulated products deemed unsafe for public use. According to NAFDAC, the raid followed months of surveillance and tip-off from concerned stakeholders. The agency reiterated its commitment to protecting public health by eliminating fake and substandard products from circulating. Traders found it in possession of its items and expected to face legal action. NAFDAC advised consumers to purchase only registered products and verify items through its authority and platform to avoid health risks and regulatory violations. The Nigerian Shippers Council has urged the Abia State government to support the revival of the stalled Isiola-Ngwa inland dry port to boost regional trade under the African Continental Free Trade Area. During a visit to Governor Alex Oti, Council Executive Secretary Dr. Akuta said the port stalled at 10% compression since its 2006 concession. Vast economic potentials for Aba SMEs and the wider Southeast. He cited infrastructure and funding gaps as key obstacles, calling for state-level intervention and stakeholders' collaboration. Governor Oti expressed concern over 19-year delay and stressed the importance of efficient rail transport for the port viability. He pledged cooperation with federal authorities to resolve the challenges and move the project from planning to execution. Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State has assured residents that the rising water level at Alau Dam poses no immediate threat of flooding. Speaking on Saturday during an inspection of the dam's reconstruction site near Maiduguri, Zulum said the government has assessed the situations and found no cause for alarm. He acknowledged the widespread panic among residents following recent reports of increased water level, but emphasized that precautionary measures are in place. The governor also commended the ongoing construction efforts, which he said are crucial to the region's water management and agricultural support. Zulum stressed the importance of relying on official communication rather than unverified social media reports. He assured the public that relevant agencies are monitoring the situation closely and will provide timely updates as needed. The Alau Dam is a critical infrastructure component in Borno State, supporting both irrigation and domestic water supply for thousands of residents in Maiduguri area. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, has urged Nigerians to remain calm following the temporary suspension of Badege FM, a Mina-based radio station. In a statement issued by his Special Assistant on Media, Malam Rabiu Ibrahim, the minister acknowledged public concern but said the government is committed to upholding press freedom within the bounds of responsible broadcasting. Idris stated that the suspension is being reviewed and that all relevant regulatory procedures will be followed. While the specific reasons for the station's suspension were not disclosed, sources indicate it may be related to content violations. The minister assured that due process will determine the outcome and that the government remains open to dialogue with media stakeholders. He reiterated that press freedom is vital in a democracy but must be balanced with national security and professional ethics. The statement aimed to dose tension and reaffirm the administration's media policy stance. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has disclosed that women and children constitute the majority of those affected by the 2025 flooding incidents across 19 states. In data released through its emergency response dashboard, the agency identified Imo, Rivers, Abia, Borno, and Kaduna as most severely impacted states. NEMA expressed concern over vulnerability of displaced families and highlighted the urgent need for humanitarian assistance. Relief efforts are currently underway in several affected regions, with food, temporary shelters, and medical supplies being distributed to victims. The agency called on state governments, international partners, and non-governmental organizations to intensify support as climate-induced disasters continue to escalate. NEMA also emphasized the importance of disaster preparedness and early warning system, especially in flood-prone areas. The agency is coordinating within relevant bodies to assess long-term impacts and improve response strategies. The 2025 flood season has already displaced thousands, underscoring Nigerians' growing climate vulnerability. The federal government, through TETFund, has awarded 1 billion naira to the Federal University Dutse in Jigawa State for establishment of Innovation Hubs and Technology Park. According to the university, the project will foster students' entrepreneurship, creativity, and self-reliance, while contributing to national economic growth and human capital development. The hubs will feature 14 specialized labs and workshops, including 3D printing, software development, biotechnology, lead craft, fashion design, recycling, electronics, and sustainable energy. Vice Chancellor Professor Abdul Karim Sabo Mohammed noted the facilities aim to turn ideas into practical solutions and positioned Ford as a leading innovation center in Nigeria. Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak on Saturday inspected the ongoing constructions of the 49-kilometer Iyanko Rin Afong Ojoku Ofa Odo Otin Road, funded under the Federal Tax Credit Scheme through Bua Group. He praised the project's quality and pace, noting it will significantly reduce travel time and boost connectivity. Abdurrazak credited President Bola Tinubu's administration for the initiative, expressing strong support for his re-election, citing visible progress under the renewed hope agenda. He also commended Bua Group for its role in multiple road projects across the state. The governor further inspected a healthcare facility renovation in Asa local government and paid condolences to the families of prominent individuals who recently passed away. The Nigerian Railway Corporation has denied reports of vandalism on the Lagos-Ibadan Standard Gauge rail line, clarifying that a viral video allegedly showing damage actually depicts incidents from August 2024 along the old narrow gauge line at Erumu, Ibadan. In a statement, NRC explained that the video, circulated by Sahara reporters, refers to past theft or rail components which have since been addressed through community engagement and police action. Several suspects were arrested and handed over to prosecution. The NRC urged media outlets to verify information to avoid public misinformation and commended security agencies for their efforts in tackling vandalism. Managing Director Dr. Kayode Obefa reaffirmed the corporation's commitment to protecting railway infrastructure nationwide. The Cross River State Governor Basio II on Saturday inaugurated constructions of the 10-kilometer Ndok Junction Mbuke Obuhusu Road in Ogojo local government area, with subsequent phases extending to Utungwang in Obudu. Represented by Deputy Governor Peter Odey, Otu said the project aimed to open rural communities, stimulate local economies, and enhance statewide connectivity. Work Commissioner Pius Akpo noted the phased approach reflects prudent resource management with over 12 kilometers of road rehabilitations already on the way in Ugoda metropolis. Contractors have been instructed to adhere to international standards and prioritize local labor. Traditional rules and community leaders praised the initiative, pledging support for Otu's administration as it advances its commitment to a functional and economical valuable road network across the state. The body of Richard Ekwepo, a missing real estate executive and vice chairman of the Real Estate Consultant Association of Bayelsa, has been found in a forest between New NDDC Road and Otupoti in Abia local government area. Police said he was shot in the head and dumped by his killers. Ekwepo, who hailed from Amasoma in southern Ijo, disappeared on July 24th. His wife later received a WhatsApp message allegedly from him, but police now believe his abductors were using his phone. Intelligence led police and local youths to recover his body with sign of a struggle and evidence suggesting two armed men were involved. Authorities are investigating possible motives, including business disputes or financial crimes, as efforts continue to apprehend the suspects. We'll take a short break now, but don't go anywhere. There's still so much more ahead right here on Sam TV, your window to the truth. Please don't go away.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At Taraba Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo Branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing Branch, Zenith Bank Agent beside College of Education, Zing, 070-3125-2559.
Welcome back. We're glad you're still here with us. Coming up next are the international business, sport, and entertainment news. On the international news, Nigerian-born US-based lawyer and astronaut Chief Owolabi Salis is set to be honored with a monument in recognition of his historic spaceflight beyond the Kármán line, the first by a Nigerian. The tribute, designed by renowned sculptor Steve and Baba, would be unveiled on July 4, 2026, and later relocated to Salih's hometown in Ikorodu, Lagos. Baba called on global figures, including President Tinubu and Jeff Bezos, to support the initiative, praising Salis for elevating Nigerians' image in space exploration. Salis, who also visited both the Arctic and Antarctic within a single season, has received widespread acclaim for his achievements, which continue to inspire future generations. On business news, the Nigerian Port Authority has reaffirmed its commitment to promoting the ease of doing business at the country's seaport to harness the full potential of Nigeria's blue economy. NPA Managing Director Dr. Abubakar Danshoho made the pledge during the maiden call of MV Ocean Dragon, the first wholly Nigerian-owned container vessel at Onne Port, Rivers State. Danshoho highlighted the vessel's significance as a milestone in Nigeria's maritime sector, aligning with international standards on multimodalism and port hinterland. He noted that the NPA's port modernization and reform initiative are designed to sustain a favorable business climate, especially amidst growing shipping volumes. The MD assured investors of continued support under the supervision of the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, adding that such forward-looking investments signal the improving viability of Nigerian strait and maritime environments. On entertainment news, Nigerian singer Iyanya has pledged 500,000 Nigerians to an elderly nurse who was publicly criticized by colleagues for reporting to work during the ongoing nationwide strike by the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives. A viral video showed the nurse employed at the federal medical facilities being confronted by fellow strikers, drawing mixed reaction online. Inyanya pressed her dedication on social media, saying her action showed compassion beyond politics. While many lauded the gesture, some argued it undermined union solidarity. The singer defended his stance, emphasizing that patients' care must not be compromised. The strike, driven by poor wages and working conditions, continues as negotiations with the government remain unresolved. Nollywood actor Yul Edochie has called on Igbos living abroad, particularly in Ghana, to return and invest in the southeast. His message follows recent anti-Nigerian protests in Ghana, where some locals demanded the deportation of Nigerians over alleged rising criminal activities. In a post shared on Facebook, Edochie described the rejection faced abroad as a spiritual sign urging Igbos to reconnect with their homeland. He framed the situation as an orchestral call to rebuild and unify the region, encouraging renewed commitment to development in Igbo land. On sports, the family of former Super Eagles goalkeeper Peter Rufai has announced that his burial will take place on August 22, 2025. The Professional Footballer Association of Nigeria is collaborating with the Lagos Sports Commission and Lagos State Football Association to organize a valedictory football match in his honor. PFAN Task Force Chairman Prince Harrison Jala called on the Lagos State Governor, National Sports Commission and Nigerian Football Federation to support a befitting carnival-like farewell. A delegation led by PFAN officials visited the Rufai family in Amuwo, Odofin, to offer condolences and assure them of institutional backing. All football clubs and academics in Lagos are expected to participate in the tribute, with a match scheduled at Telsim Bologum or Inikam Stadium, pending final venue approval. And that's where we wrap up tonight's broadcast. But before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. We brought report that the International Press Institute Nigerian condemned the closure of Badagi 90.1 FM and demanded its immediate reopening. And we said Vice President Kashim Shettima, African Development Bank President Akinwumi Adesina, and Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde jointly launched the Oyo State Agribusiness Industrial Hub under the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone Initiative. In Plateau State, we brought reports that political tension between the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressive Congress continue to intensify ahead of the 2027 general election. On the international scene, we reported that the Nigerian-born United States-based astronaut Chief Owolabi Salis is set to be honored with a monument in recognition of his historic journey beyond the Kármán line. And in business, the Nigerian Ports Authority marks a milestone by welcoming the first wholly Nigerian-owned container vessel, MV Ocean Dragon, at Oni Port in Rivers State. In the world of entertainment, Nigerian singer Iyanya made headlines with a 500,000 naira donation to support an elderly nurse who was harassed for reporting to duty during the nurses' nationwide strike. And finally, in sport, the family of former Super Eagle goalkeeper Peter Rufai announced that his burial will take place on August 22nd, with a valedictory football being planned in his honor. Stay with us for more insightful program and timely updates on Sun TV. I'm Bridget James. Thank you for joining us. From all of us here, I'm wishing you peace, progress, and purpose. Good night.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is